Visuals there of the fierce mudslide that engulfed an entire village in Uttarakhand. The incident is yet another grim reminder of the threat the Himalayas face from climate change. We will tell you more about this in our program ahead. Hello and welcome. I'm Samiksha Srivastava and this is Inside South Asia. Let's shift our focus now to India's Himalayan state of Uttarakhand, where a flash flood swallowed an entire village, leaving at least 5 dead and scores missing. The Indian rescue teams, including the IAF and army, continue to search for those trapped under debris as they race against time.
Oh my God.
The situation here was dangerous and very horrifying. It happened at around 1:30 p.m. and we were nearby and saw a lot of people being swept away by the deluge. The floods also washed away a lot of houses and trees.
It is such a terrifying natural disaster that people don't even get any time to run. And we have come to know that a lot of people have died. It was horrific and the floods lasted for merely 10 seconds. And after that, the water started flowing normally.
It is such a terrifying natural disaster that people don't even get any time to run. And we have come to know that a lot of people have died. It was horrific and the floods lasted for merely 10 seconds. And after that, the water started flowing normally.
A year has passed since the dramatic ouster of Sheikh Hasina from Bangladesh and the shift in power. Celebratory marches marked the anniversary across the country. Elections have finally been announced as the country struggles to get back on democratic rails again. This amid a continuing power play and clinging to power as Bangladesh looks for a new identity.
A sea of students and activists celebrate Victory Day in Dhaka, a peaceful march, as distinct from the over 1,400 people killed violence on these streets exactly a year back. Today, they call it breathing a cleaner air.
Previously, the government used to suppress and oppress those who disagreed with them or belonged to the opposition. But today, you can see Hefazat, Chhatra Shibir and Biplobi Chhatra Parishad all carrying out their programs here. It feels really good to see that after a long time, all these people are finally able to observe Victory Day and hold their programs in their way.
A day-long program titled 36 Days of July celebrated the anniversary. Yunus earlier read out what's been called the July Declaration that he said reflects the aspirations of the people of Bangladesh. The 26-point document around Bangladesh's political history accords constitutional and state recognition to the 2024 student-led uprising. A highlight of the day was a televised address by Yunus and announcement of elections, a long overdue answer to a long-standing demand.
Now it is time to complete our final responsibility, the national election. On this historic day, after completing this speech in front of you, we will enter the final and the most important chapter. Now we will start the process of handing over the responsibilities to an elected government. On behalf of the interim government, I will send a letter to the Chief Election Commissioner requesting that the Election Commission organize the national elections in February 2026.
What contours will these elections take? The clampdown against Sheikh Hasina's backers over the last year, the ban and court cases would suggest the end of the political road for her, but she refused to consider herself out just yet. In an open letter criticizing the Yunus regime, Hasina says,
They may have taken power, but they can never take away our spirit. Let us never forget that power belongs to the people, and no regime can suppress that will of a nation forever. Our struggle is not over, our cause is just. Together we will rebuild what has been broken. Together we will reclaim the institutions that were taken from us.
The optimism that may have initially followed the change in government has for many been tampered by the realities of the past year. The promised swift return to full democratic processes has faced big headwinds. There's also the new identity factor. A series of atrocities against Hindus and Hindu interests have riled India, setting the tone for a distinct shift in the country's positions and alliances in South Asia. Bangladesh's secular foundations are out. Islamism is in. Liberalism is out. An Islamist principled social milieu and governance has taken over. Leading towards India possibly becomes a thing of the past. Pakistan is the new ally. Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar is scheduled to visit Dhaka later this month to boost ties with Bangladesh. It will be the first visit of Pakistan's Foreign Minister to Bangladesh in 13 years since Hina Rabbani Khan's trip. The growing influence of parties with a historical anti-India sentiment naturally raises alarm bells in New Delhi. Crucial elections next year and a critical interplay of domestic political shifts and regional dynamics will shape not just Bangladesh's future but also the stability of South Asia.
Jammu and Kashmir has been at the forefront of India's fight against terrorism for decades. In recent weeks, a renewed intensity has gripped the region, with Indian security forces launching a decisive surge in counter-terror operations and registering some big successes. Here's a report.
"10 days, 3 major anti-terror operations in Jammu and Kashmir, 8 terrorists gunned down." On the back of Operation Mahadev and neutralization of 3 terrorists who carried out the Pahalgam terror bloodbath, Operation Shiv Shakti foiled an infiltration attempt in Poonch with 2 Lashkar-e-Taiba operatives gunned down. And the latest, the ongoing Operation Akhal in Kulgam, at least 2 terrorists are declared neutralized. These are big wins, successes of a huge anti-terror campaign. Data reveals a significant decline in terror-related incidents in Kashmir in recent years. Despite recent successes, the fight remains fraught with challenges. Pakistan's continued support in infiltration and logistical aid is a major obstacle. Its exploitation of the information environment and use of hybrid warfare tactics pose a constant threat. Sustaining these operations is illicit funding through drug trafficking and hawala networks. Indian intel operations have evolved significantly over the years. The emphasis is now on synergistic and synchronized intelligence gathering with seamless coordination between various agencies like the Army, Police and CRPF. This includes a blend of crucial human intelligence from local sources and sophisticated technical intelligence, such as tracking satellite phone signals. The strategy is no longer just about neutralizing individual terrorists, but dismantling the entire terror ecosystem, targeting overground workers, financial networks, and recruitment models. Proactive measures like intensified patrols and checkpoint operations are also key. Looking ahead, India's approach is defined by a new doctrine that views terrorism as an act of war. The government's zero-tolerance policy extends beyond military action to legal and administrative measures. India looks to cover multiple corners and new ones emerging all the time. It's a deadly, ever-staring threat, and defeating it is the only choice we have.
On the very first day of the operation, one terrorist body was recovered from the operation site. He was an elite terrorist who was a local and was active from 2023. Meanwhile, security forces after that still continuing the search operation in the area. It's also this year's one of the longest operations that security forces have carried on in south of Kashmir. Meanwhile, because of the dense forest region, the operation is taking a bit longer, but there are reports that there are foreign terrorists hiding in the forest area.
On the 5th of August, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf Party marked the second anniversary of the arrest of their leader and former Prime Minister Imran Khan, holding protest rallies in cities across the country. In Karachi, hundreds of party workers and supporters staged demonstrations on bikes, rickshaws and other vehicles carrying posters of Khan and party flags. Police fired tear gas shells to disperse them. According to the PTI, a heavy police presence thwarted most rallies, including in Lahore, where at least 7 provincial MPs and dozens of supporters were detained while trying to assemble.
This struggle is for freedom. This struggle is for an independent parliament. This effort is to release Imran Khan from jail.
The party claims more than 240 of its workers have been jailed. Imran Khan has been in custody since his arrest in 2023, which sparked massive protests and crackdown. Imran Khan denies any wrongdoing and claims that dozens of cases against him are politically motivated. Moving on, a crackdown on illegal donkey meat trade has rocked Pakistan, with authorities seizing a staggering 1,000 kilograms of donkey meat from a farmhouse on the outskirts of capital Islamabad. The operation not only highlights a booming black market, but also brings into sharp focus Pakistan's evolving role in the global donkey trade and the animal's rising importance for the Pak economy.
A viral video that aired on a Pak TV network of a raid on a farmhouse on the outskirts of Islamabad. What they found was alarming: 1,000 kilograms of packed donkey meat. 50 live donkeys were also recovered. The foreign national has been arrested and FIR has been registered. A probe is underway.
Initial investigations suggest the meat was not only being sold locally, but was also being prepared for export abroad in violation of health, safety, and export regulations. The meat was destroyed on site, and further legal action is underway.
The raid and findings take on added significance in the backdrop of the larger picture of donkeys as the backbone of Pakistan's informal economy. Pakistan's donkey population, the third largest in the world, crossed 6 million in June this year, an increase of over 109,000 in the last year alone. The animals are critical to transportation needs and cartage, especially in rural and semi-urban areas. They have a big role to play in the brick kiln and small-scale construction industries that employ vast numbers and support thousands of families, but are largely informal. Donkeys are also a gold mine as an export commodity. Pakistan exports donkey hide and meat to China. There it is used in cuisine, but more significantly, the hide is used to produce ijiao, a traditional medicinal gelatin believed to have anti-aging benefits. It has a 3,000-year history. There's also another aspect. Individual donkey skins fetch $200 to $400 in international markets. A Chinese company set up the first hide processing plant in Gwadar in 2023, but there's no streamlined government policy in place on donkeys. Despite the economic potential, the donkey remains taboo in Pakistan's food and trade culture. Attempts to formalize donkey exports and slaughter face religious, cultural and social resistance, even though consumption is not illegal. The recent donkey meat bust ends up being an eye-opener to operations carried out illegally due to lack of a formal policy. It turns into a complex issue, balancing economic opportunity with public health, religious sensibilities, and the animal's welfare. Like much else in Pakistan, solutions remain distant, almost abandoned.
Now let's take a look at what else is making headlines in the region in Inside South Asia Wrap.
Sri Lankan anti-corruption authorities detain ex-minister Shashindra Rajapaksa on corruption allegations. Shashindra is the first Rajapaksa to be arrested since the president Anura Kumara Dissanayake came to power. The nephew of ex-presidents Mahinda and Gotabaya Rajapaksa is accused of misappropriating state-owned land in the southeastern region of the island nation. He is charged with illegal construction, which when suffered an arson attack in May 2022, public protests. The commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption stated Shashindra Rajapaksa coerced officials into paying for damages on state-owned land.
Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian visited Pakistan on the 2nd of August for an official two-day visit at the invitation of Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. It was Pezeshkian's first official visit to Pakistan as the President of Iran. Pakistan's Sharif last visited Iran in May. Talks between the two sides focused on deepening cooperation in trade, energy, and regional security. During his visit, Pezeshkian thanked Pakistan for supporting Iran when Israel and the U.S. launched strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities in June. Pezeshkian also met with Pakistan's President Asif Ali Zardari on Sunday, who hosted a dinner in his honor.
India has constructed a key road in Bhutan, giving a better all-weather access to strategic Ha Valley, which is just about 21 kilometers from the border between India and China at Doklam, where 2017 standoff took place. The Border Roads Organization built the road at a cost of about rupees 254 crore, or $29 million. Inaugurated by Bhutan's Prime Minister, the road will help local people in Bhutan and also improve movement of security forces if needed.
And staying with nature's fury, Nepal, that's known for its breathtaking Himalayan landscapes, is also one of the world's most vulnerable to natural disasters. Landslides pose a particularly grave threat, having caused a staggering 70% of monsoon-linked deaths last year alone. But now there's hope emerging from the hills, an innovative AI-powered early warning system that's designed to predict these deadly landslides.
September 2024. Exceptional late monsoon rainfall caused floods and landslides across Nepal. Over 200 died, dozens were written off as missing, with rescue operations continuing for weeks. Nepal's vulnerability to landslides is compounded by its unstable geology, shifting rainfall patterns, and poorly planned development. Experts warn that climate change is fueling these hazards further, leading to erratic rainfall and increased soil erosion. For communities living in difficult terrain, the fear is constant. There's hope round the corner. The Department of Hydrology and Meteorology in Kathmandu is working with collaborators in the UK and Italy to develop an AI-powered landslide early warning system, a first of its kind for the Himalayan nation. The platform developed by Australian professor Antoinette Tordesillas is called SAFE, Northeast Regional Invasive Species and Climate Change Management Network, a high-tech but low-cost solution tailored to Nepal's unique terrain. Using rainfall data, ground movement sensors, satellite imagery, and local observations, this system aims to predict deadly landslides weeks in advance. The AI component will automatically generate graphical views and alerts based on rainfall forecasts. Eventually, it will deliver a continuously updated landslide risk map, empowering decision makers and residents to take timely preventive actions and make evacuation plans.
Once we have the long data set, maybe 1 year or 2 years, and then we'll set the threshold, okay, this is the threshold, this much rain may trigger the landslide in Kimtang. The AI component automatically prepare the graphical view, okay, we are crossing the threshold, right? And then this alert us.
Nepal has made significant strides in flood preparedness, with community-based systems and sirens proving effective in reducing deaths. However, predicting landslides has always been far more complex. Scientists hope the new AI-based system that is in its preliminary stages will be able to become full effective with a year or two of data.
Unlike floods, landslides require mapping of landslide-prone areas so we can identify whether there are human settlements. If we could integrate that with weather forecasts, we could move towards landslide prediction.
There are still big challenges to getting the system operational across the country, but the fact is, it is a critical step. By leveraging technology and empowering local communities, there is renewed hope that this innovative approach can significantly reduce the devastating impact of landslides. There's an effort to transform fear into foresight for millions living in the shadow of these natural giants.